Ukmergė is a city located just over 1 hour's drive from Vilnius and Kaunas. In fact, if you look at a map, it's almost an equal distance between these two large cities, forming a triangle. So today I'll share the experience I had visiting Ukmergė from Vilnius for the first time, taking a bus without making any reservations. Because of the city's location, I'm sure some of the information in this video will be relevant to people living in Kaunas, hoping to explore Ukmergė too. So I'm going to start by leaving my apartment in Fabijoniškės and the journey to the Vilnius bus station. There is definitely some relevant information along the way, including purchasing a ticket, but if you want to skip ahead to my arrival at the bus station, you can go to this time in the video, or go to this time to get right to Ukmergė. So let's get started. I left my apartment in Fabijoniškės roughly 1.5 hours before my bus was scheduled to leave Stotis, or the main station. Using a non-electric scooter, most of my journey was downhill. Thankfully, it was a sunny day, and I was in no rush to get to the station. Before I left the apartment, I got on my phone and purchased my bus ticket to Ukmergė online at autobusubilietai.lt. Without a doubt, I could have purchased a ticket at the station at one of the machines or at the ticket counter, but I felt better reserving a ticket ahead of time. This ticket cost me €6.50 and conveniently showed me the departure platform as well as an assigned seat, which I thought was quite reassuring. The scooter ride was beautiful, and I'm really happy with the various bicycle paths and lanes that Vilnius offers. I got to the station in about an hour and I had enough time to stop by the McDonald's to get some breakfast. The bus showed up right on time and people had already lined up to get in. I was a little bit nervous about being able to bring my scooter with me, but seeing this large bus and knowing it had a big compartment underneath was reassuring. This particular bus was operated by the Toks bus company, so I'm not sure if other companies offer different types of buses for the same journey. Eventually, the driver got out and opened up the bottom compartment for baggage. This might be something you have to ask for since it doesn't seem that they do it immediately. Getting on board, I was looking for my assigned seat number 5. However, the guys that were ahead of me tried to sit in their assigned seats that were blocked off. They had a brief conversation with the driver, and even though I didn't understand what they were saying, from context it was clear that the seat numbers on tickets don't mean anything and that passengers are supposed to sit in any seats that are available. And this was the annoying part, having to confront passengers and get them to remove their bags or jackets from empty seats. It seemed like everyone already on board wanted to discourage others from sitting beside them. It's natural and makes sense, kind of, but it's also annoying when you're the person getting on the bus and you need to be assertive. My wife assures me that this is very normal in Lithuania, so expect to confront someone to try and get a seat on a bus. As for the bus seats, they were pretty comfortable and offered standard European power outlets along the walls. I believe the seats do recline back, but I didn't try it out since it would probably annoy the person behind me. Just 15 or 20 minutes into the journey, our bus made a stop in Fabijoniškės. This was quite a surprise, and I realized that instead of making the journey all the way across the city to the bus station, I could have just made a much shorter trip to this bus stop instead. If I do this, my main worry is getting a good seat on board. Also, being on the side of a busy road means it's less comfortable and less sheltered than being at a proper station. But besides that, people living a little further away from the main station can try boarding the bus here instead. Just search Vilnius Fabijoniškės online to find the bus times. On this note, I'm not sure if you can reserve tickets online for this location, or if you'll just need to pay by cash when you get on board. So the rest of the ride was quick and easy. This bus, as with most buses, continue on to other parts of Lithuania. Because of this, you'll have to make sure that you remember to get off in time and not fall asleep and miss your stop. For some reason, there was a problem buying a return ticket on my phone that day. So after getting off the bus, I headed into the small station to buy a return ticket. At this point, I quickly discovered that tickets weren't sold in the station and that they had to be purchased on the bus. Because of this, I had to get some cash in the city. If you're ever planning on taking a bus in Lithuania, I would definitely recommend having cash for situations like this. You won't always be able to buy a ticket online or using your card at the station. Ukmergė itself made for a pleasant short day trip. The bus station is located about 2 kilometers from the town center, and this was fine for me since I had my scooter. But if you're traveling on foot, then you'll want to find a taxi or use the public buses in Ukmergė, something that I really don't know much about. The feature I was most interested in visiting was the Ukmergės piliakalnis, which translates to the Ukmergė mound. Before getting here, however, I got to Ukmergės parkas, which is another elevated viewpoint park across the road from the mound. Eventually, I made my way up the mound, which is accessible using this metal walkway that goes up and around. When you reach the top, there's a swing set and guardrails to keep you from falling down the hill. It's quite a nice view and would be a pretty nice place to catch a sunset. Some photos I saw online even show parts of it all lit up at night, so that would be pretty cool to see. After this, I scooted along part of the river where there's a nice bicycle and walking path. Then I headed up the town center and rolled around some of the more scenic areas. I honestly don't know how much more there was to see, but this was my entire experience for this extremely short trip. I found an ATM, got some cash, and headed back to the bus station. The bus came right on time, and again I had to be assertive and find an empty seat. And again, the bus stopped in Fabioniskas to let a few passengers off. It also stopped at the underpass, which is close to the river and Gedimino Prospectus. So that was my experience of taking a bus to Ukmergė for the day. It's a nice little town and it's definitely on the more relaxing side. I would say it's perfect for a short day trip or little staycation close to home, if you live in Vilnius or Kaunas. When it comes to taking the bus, I learned that you should expect that you'll need to be assertive in sitting in a seat covered by someone else's bags or jackets, and that you should always carry some small bills in case you need to buy a ticket directly from the bus driver using cash. My main worry with this is that buses will be full and there won't be any free seats. But I haven't experienced a full bus myself just yet, but I imagine it could be a possibility during busier times of the year, such as holidays and holiday weekends, something that would be very unfortunate. But what's your experience of using buses in Lithuania? And do you think you'll check out Ukmergė in the future? Let me know by leaving a comment.